Welcome to Jacqueline's Inside Out. I'm so excited that you are here for our newest episode for Jacqueline's Inside Out, The Power of Presence, an event, an in-person event at South Point at the AC Hotel. We are going to dive into leadership. Leadership for business, for entrepreneurs, for CEOs, for personal and professional development. We're going to talk about wealth. We're going to talk about excitement for your business, helping you with resilience, courage, confidence, energy, all of it. Stay tuned. We have so much to show you here today. We are excited for the Power of Presence event in person in South Point. We'll be right back. Hi, Bridget.
Hello.
How are you? Oh my goodness, what an amazing 2 days it's been. You were our keynote. This has been incredible. Let me know, what do you feel? What has come from this 2-day conference that we put on here? And let me know what you're thinking. What's come to mind for you?
Oh my gosh, it was such an incredible event and it went by so fast. I was like, what? We just got here. The women that were in this event were so amazing. It was so powerful. It was such a joy and honor to be in the presence of such great leaders and women, and hearing everybody else's story and being more inspired to go back to your own businesses and just keep doing the work, because the more we inspire each other, it's just going to keep making this world a better place. And yeah, it was so great. And the workshop, the roundtable that we did today, it was so great to even get to know each other at even a deeper level, and how we can support each other, because the more we support each other, the more we're going to keep growing.
That's so true. I love that. The power of presence, right? The power of presence, the name of this conference, just bringing us together, really getting connected to our power and our presence that we bring to the world, the impact that we make, especially with the mindset that you taught on. This is absolutely incredible. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for you and this journey, and I look forward to so much more. Thank you, Bridget.
My pleasure.
Well, right now, we want to have a little upbeat fashion show for you. So let's start with Marissa. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what she's got on here? And take it away.
Sure. Thanks, Jackie. So one of the trends for spring is called feminine boheme, and it's very flowy fabrics, very much textural with like eyelets and crochets, very much floral. Some of the colors that I'm really seeing for spring are pistachio, petal pink, and lavender. So this blouse kind of mixes all three together. She's got detailing on, there's a little crystal button here as a flower. And on the back, she has a lot of beadwork and embroidered flowers. So just a little bit of that detail, but just really makes it pop.
Pieces are always detail.
A lot of my pieces are floral focused with a lot of embroidery, sequins, beadwork, a lot of detail. And I do have some, non-floral pieces as well, but who doesn't like flowers?
is her brand, right?
Yeah,
Very
Whimsical
whimsical.
Wardrobe Boutique.
Yeah. So Leslie is going to share all of her jewelry, and I'm actually wearing her jewelry today as well.
Yes.
So share a little bit about this.
Sparkle. So, ladies, if you have not heard of Touchstone Crystal before, we are the social selling division of Swarovski Crystals. Always get tongue-tied with that for some reason. But beautiful, just like Marissa said, pastels are in right now. We actually just launched a brand new Candy Couture collection, which is 28 brand new pieces of pastel colors. So make sure you check those out. But this is a beautiful statement necklace. What I love about our statement pieces and a lot of our necklaces is that they're very versatile. So you can actually, it's got a slider in the back, so you can adjust the length of those necklaces. And then also everything on trend right now is layering. So you see she has her bracelets layered. We call these are wrap bracelets.
Leslie's the queen of layering.
And this is our top selling bracelet. This is our iconic ice bracelet. So we have those in over 40 different colors. And then also I have a beautiful piece here layered. This is new for spring, summer. This is our Shine On Me necklace. And it also comes in gold for you gold lovers.
It's so pretty too. So beautiful. But that's just a little bit about Leslie. All right, Sammy, before we go on to one more look, would you like to share a little bit about your pageantry and what you do?
Yeah, sure. Hi. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Samantha Roth, but you can call me Sammy. It seems too official to go by Samantha all the time. I'm a graduate of Point Park University, with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting and a minor in dance. Before that, I attended Lincoln Park Performing Arts Charter School as a musical theater major. I've been doing pageants since I was about 6 or 7 years old. That doesn't mean I was good. I always joke the first time I was on stage, instead of, holding a rose the appropriate way, I was dragging it along the floor, mopping the whole stage. So pageants were really great for me. It took me from just being able to do theater to being a strong, well-spoken woman, and I credit a lot of people like Jackie, my dear friend Shelly Hipsky, and Heather Hapira for a lot of those successes growing up in this area. There's no place like Pittsburgh, and I take that to heart. While at Point Park University, though, unfortunately, I am a domestic violence and sexual assault survivor. So I went into the Miss America organization because they are very passionate about having a community service initiative, which is just a fancy word for a platform. So with my platform, I created Take a Stand 501c3, which is a very successful business. We are sponsored by Planned Parenthood and the University of Pittsburgh. And through that, I go into school settings and talk about what does consent and boundaries mean. The youngest person I've talked to has been 3 years old, while the oldest being adult and collegiate women. And through that organization, we have been able to go into disciplinary schools. I have talked to students in juvie, and I've talked to the 1%. So it's been really cool to make a difference across the United States, not just Pennsylvania.
Okay, Abby, I have a question for you. Visionary leadership and organizational energy. Creating a visionary space. How do you create and maintain a visionary environment within your business with the strategies that you do to inspire and motivate like others in teams and build around this amazing thing that you do? How would that help us to create visionary leadership?
Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of pieces to this, but I come from a background of corporate consulting and talent development and culture transformation. So, there are many things that people do to make other people feel connected, and that is so critical. But there's also this role that our spaces play that we don't always realize, whether it's home or office. The visual cues you're getting all the time, you're registering them either in an uplifting way or in a more negative way or a demoralizing way. Think of like if you have maybe a pile of clutter that you walk by every day and you're like, I have to get to that. And I am guilty of this. I'm not, I'm a reformed clutterbug, so this is, I've learned reforming. It's a journey. It's a journey. Yeah. But so when it comes to organizations, so, I work with individuals to give them art that reflects their goals and their spirit and the feelings they want to keep at the front of their mind. And when it comes to organizations, I will work with them to create brand-based or brand-aligned art that is, using their colors, but also, even a personal brand or, corporate brand has those values attached to it. And if you're doing a good job of creating a corporate culture, an organizational culture that really has people like feeling connected in their hearts and their minds and their hands, all working together, then hopefully core values are at the center of that, because then everybody can be marching to the same beat. And so you can reinforce that visually. And there's amazing things to think about with like color psychology and the ways that different colors make us feel. And in addition, I don't know how many people are familiar with Feng Shui. I feel like it's becoming more and more common, but really it's an ancient practice of arranging spaces so that energy can flow. And there's, some principles and stuff like that, but there's also, symbolism of an object that, the color of it represents, like, say, you want more abundance. You would want something green or gold anyway, it gets complicated with the Feng Shui.
Green, money.
Yeah, so
We talked
anyway,
about
but I love it.
I love that. I love that.
So, like, to bring it kind of back around, I think that, visual things are symbols to us. We register them in certain ways, and so we can control what that symbolism is. And it can be something that is aligned with what we want to feel or what we want our employees to feel or what our mission is as an organization or not. And so
Yeah.
I'll just say one
Love it.
one piece of the work. I do some workshops too, so I also, if people want to learn to make their own acrylic poured painting, I have groups come in. Sometimes they're corporate teams, sometimes they're just a gathering of usually amazing women, but anybody will enjoy. Anyone heart-centered, I say. But we've had teams come in and, you bring a personal intention and work with, in the case of a group like Leadership Pittsburgh, they worked with their new brand colors and they each made a poured painting. And even though it's the same colors, every single one is unique. There's some examples back there. That's my style. But anyway, they make a painting that reflects their individual contributions, but it's with the colors that are representative of their shared mission. And in a few cases, they actually ended up hanging those paintings in the office. So it's like a reminder of those two things. Everybody brings their own stuff, and we're all here to achieve the same goal.
All right. So, question number 2 for you, Nikki. Faith and leadership. Faith can be a powerful source of strength, guidance, and purpose for many leaders. How do you intertwine your faith into your leadership, and what role does it play in helping you navigate the challenges of leadership as a business organization? How do you balance that personal faith that demands your leading in the economy and in the marketplace that you're in?
Long question.
Yeah, it is.
A little bit of background. I actually have been in practice for about 26 years, and I was trained in a very secular industry where it's very male dominated. It's all about more. And I actually was in downtown Pittsburgh in the bullpen of a very large major wirehouse, and it was very stressful. It was truly not what I thought. I thought this was going to be an elite, really exciting, sexy Wall Street position, and it was anything but that. And I had this woman in my training class who really didn't, from on-site, from looking at her, she didn't fit the part. But she had this calmness. She had this sense of joy. She had this confidence that I was like, I want some of that. And so I actually went to church with her and without hesitation accepted Christ that very night in church. And that transformed me. I was no longer that person that was anxious or worried or wondering or fretting. But for a long time, I kept my life separate because I was in, I actually still go by 2 separate names. I had 2 identities, one at work, one at home. And because I didn't want anyone at church to ever think that I was there for any other reason than to worship. So about 10 years ago, I was invited onto the Endurance Foundation board at the Bible Chapel. And I finally realized that, you know what, my practice is my ministry. This is a chance for me to step out in my faith, to live
Yes.
bold. And my faith is truly the foundation of every decision I make, whether it's personally or professionally. We start every Monday morning with a devotion. I have a woman on my team who also goes to the Bible Chapel. I've coined her as our team evangelist, and we just start our week off with a devotion, and we are all very caring and nurturing of one another on our team. We have different generations on our team, so that's, challenging, and just having that faith and just being able to welcome that into the workforce has been truly transformative. And also to be able to pray for my clients and to be able to have difficult conversations. We're talking about death, we're talking about disabilities, we're talking about all the what ifs so that they're prepared and they're not just winging it when you're doing financial planning. So my faith is truly what leads me every step of the way all day.
Brenda, you're up. So, prioritizing leadership, time management, and self awareness. Prioritizing task as a leader. How do you prioritize your task and responsibilities? What tools or strategies do you use to stay organized and focused?
Yes, well, thank you for having me today, Jackie. I
Yes,
appreciate
absolutely.
it. It's great to be here with you all. And I've been catching that little, note and value through our conversation today is time, right? We all have time. And what do we want to do with it? What's our intention with that? What's our mindset around that, right? Those are little words that everyone's been saying. And what I love to do is say, then how are we going to do that, right? We've been talking about why we want to do that or what, but how, how are we going to do that? And so when Jackie and I were talking a few weeks ago, time management came up. We all have a lot to do in our day. And I think as women, we need to get stuff done. You can put whatever word in there, stuff or whatever else we need to get done. A lot of people rely on us. A lot of things fall on our plates, and we have to get that done. And so I do something similar to Nikki my Monday, everything gets put on Monday. But I usually keep that in my phone on my calendar, and I just move things along as, they might not have happened that day. Of course, not everything's going to happen on Monday. But I try and move that along and be mindful about that. You know what? If it's not going to happen this week and it isn't critical, then move it to next week. Some different books I've read before talk about setting your next 3 tasks by 3:30 that day. And then the next day, the first number one thing you have to do has to be done by 8:30 in the morning. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time, but it's a way to start to put structure around your day. And there are times when your day gets, overridden by other people or other things. But I think, too, as Christina and I were talking, the next day, get back up and get back to it. You get out of routine because of vacations, because of sickness, because of other things that happen. But those intentions that you want for all the different aspects of your life, make sure that those things, stay a priority. If it's in my calendar, things don't get moved. My workout does not get overridden unless someone is bleeding, right? Because it's really, really important for me, and that's, that has to stay there. So I think just making sure that our time management, the other thing too that I've been doing a lot lately is we have more time than we think. So I think something's going to take a lot longer than it really will take. And I use that timer on my phone because we have our phones with us all the time. So 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes, there you go. And then I get totally immersed in what I'm doing. Because the other thing I wanted to make sure that I say today is, what is the one thing that brings you joy in your life? And are you doing it every day? So if you don't know what that thing is, take the time to understand what brings joy to your life and make sure you're doing it every day. Yeah. So my word for the year is joy. Mm-hmm. And the thing that brings me joy is by walking my dogs. And that's crazy, right? It seems like I couldn't even tell you why, but I love to take my dogs for a walk. Or I'll at least go play with them, right? So 10 minutes out in the yard, we get to play. I get joy of that. They love it, and everyone's happy. So, one, understanding what brings us joy, and 2, making sure you make time for that. Do I have time to go out and walk the dog sometimes? No. Do I need to do it for them and for me? Yes. And I feel better because I've been totally immersed in that activity when I'm doing it. I'm not thinking about, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing this. I don't have time for this. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, it's so cold out right now. I don't want to be here. Right, this winter. But that timer allows me to be fully immersed in that, intentional in that time, let the joy flow into me so that I can say, okay, time's up, time to go back to my office, time to go back to my desk. So little tips and tricks on the how to do what we've been talking about today.
Hello, Angela. How are you?
Good. How are you, Jackie?
I'm good. Hey, I wanted to just ask you a few things about our event.
Sure.
Let me know your biggest takeaways that you had from this event, The Power of Presence. What was it like for you? What kind of experience did you have? And what takeaways did you have?
Okay, so I think it was a refreshing event. I felt very secure. I felt that I could be vulnerable, and I felt supported by everybody. I think all the speakers shared a piece of their wisdom. Also, they share a little bit of their own personal experience, which make it feel very personal and private. I felt that I felt appreciated, and that even though we were from different backgrounds, we all had different stories, we were present. We were there, learning from each other. So it was a very different event. But very refreshing, fulfilling. I think everybody had a lot of beautiful things to share, and they were not afraid to share it. And that made me feel really empowered. It made me feel that I wanted to hang out with them more, learn more about them in everything, in their business perspective, in the way they go and navigate life, in their family, their faith. Yep, I loved it.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about seasonal color analysis. Anybody ever had their seasons done or know what the heck I'm talking about? Okay, good. I love that. So seasonal color analysis is a method used to determine which colors are going to best complement a person's natural skin tone, their hair color, and their eye color. It categorizes everybody into 4 seasonal palettes. So we've got spring, summer, autumn, winter. It has nothing to do with what your favorite season is, okay? But it's specific to undertones and color families that enhance their natural beauty. So I think it was Brenda that was talking about being authentic. That's been a theme today, being you, and that's really important. So I don't want you to feel like you have to wear certain colors. But when you are wearing colors that complement your skin tone and your eye color and your hair color, you're going to feel better. Like think of like a power outfit that you have, a shirt or a dress or just something that when you wear it, you get compliments, you feel good. So finding colors, whether it's clothing or makeup, lipstick color, eye color, that you just feel great in, and it complements you. So it just helps you, again, step into that level 10 confidence. So understanding your seasonal colors is important because it helps you choose your makeup, clothing, and accessories that brighten your complexion, make you look more radiant, and just give you a more polished appearance. And by wearing the right shades, you enhance your features effortlessly. The next thing I wanted to share with you, if I could find my notes here, okay, is the spring trend report. Anybody want to know what's trending for colors this spring? Our fashionistas talked a little bit about clothing and shoes, but I'm going to talk about colors that are trending and patterns. Anybody know the color of the year? Who said it? Marissa, of course, she knows the answer. So it is Mocha Mousse, fancy name for brown, okay? So our spring color, so trending right now, so like mid-March to the summer, what color do you think is trending? Were you listening to Marissa earlier? That was one of them. Pistachio. So mint. Mint. Think mint, matcha, pistachio. All right. And guess what? 2 patterns that are back in season. No? No? She knows it. Polka dots. Yes, floral and the boho, but polka dots. So we've got some polka dot girls. And zebra print. So let's talk about that real quick. So think about like the polka dots and the zebra, but in your color wheelhouse. So like if you are a warm undertone, what if you found a zebra print that was like white and taupe? You know, so not necessarily the zebra black and white, but are there other zebra colors? And same with the polka dots. Are there polka dot outfits that you can find that are going to complement your outfit?
Well, I think yesterday's event was so beautiful to hear everybody's stories and, you know, to hear how they have overcome obstacles and struggles, and we are so much better together. And when we share our stories, it impacts the lives of other people and inspires other people. And so today, when we were able to just take that to the next level
Yes.
and really get to know each other better and be able to create stronger relationships, because, you know, having those, it's not just about our businesses,
Yes.
but friendships
Yes, I love
and
that.
meaningful connections.
What a fun day it has been. Oh my goodness, there was so much excitement here. We had breakout rooms, we had vendors, we had speakers, so many things that we talked about as a leader, how you're going to grow your business for 2025 and beyond. I'm so excited because this is my mission for Jacqueline's Inside Out, is to help you show up, feel confident with what you do, step into the presence of who you are and how you are showing up for your business, for your personal life. So today we accomplished that with so many leaders that we had here today, women in business. And I like to say that they are women of influence. So I'm so excited that you tuned in. This is Jacqueline's Inside Out show. And we are with Bethel Park TV. You can reach us at jacquelineshouseofbeauty.com to learn more. But we're so excited. Stay tuned for so much more coming up this year. Follow us, like us on Bethel Park TV and on Comcast. We're here for you, but we're so excited to share this special episode with you about leadership. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.